This was done by an Australian artist when we started the program in 2002. Next, please. And in exchange, as an exchange program, I curated a show in Northern Territory Center of Contemporary Arts by 5 Filipino young artists. Next, please. This is another artist in residence we have 2 years ago, David Griggs. Next, please. A Filipina based in Sydney, Maria Cruz, video exhibition. Next, please. Contemporary dance. Residency program, multiracial, artists coming from Thailand, Japan, Denmark, Philippines. Next, please. This is Thai contemporary dancer. Next, please. Brazilian contemporary dancer. Next, please. The girl in Green Papaya. Next, please. Again, Donna Miranda. Next, please. And we did an exchange program with the Fukuoka Asian Art Museum. They commissioned me to do an installation there and commissioned actually Green Papaya to do another exhibition wherein we reconstructed the stalls of yung mga nagtitinda ng mga anting-anting sa Quiapo, nagdala kami doon. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. Okay, yun na yun. Maraming salamat po.
Hello? Let's see if I can get this audio corrected. Does this sound all right? Great, okay. So I'm also losing my voice because I've been having so much fun since getting here. And so it's, yeah, non-stop party. So I guess I'll just start talking a little bit about myself. I was born here in the Philippines, but my family, my mother's side of the family moved to the States when I was really little. So I've actually had a very kind of disconnected relationship with the Philippines. I've only come back twice as an adult. And in a way, I almost feel like I'm a counterfeit or like fake Filipino, because in the U.S. you get asked all the time, where are you from? What's your culture like? And when you don't have the correct answers, it's almost like you are, not real somehow, or you can't describe your culture adequately. So a lot of my work has been having to do with issues of bootlegging and counterfeiting, and trying to kind of find a kind of authenticity maybe within being fake. So along with also thinking about issues of connections for today's talk, I decided to start off with a piece from, I think, 2003, and I'm going to give you the full title because it sounds very dry, but then I'll describe what it's about. It's called Interpersonal Relationships Based on Fact, Rumor, or Hearsay, and depicted as either molecular compositions or constellation maps, to the best of my knowledge. And it's a chart that diagrams who slept with who in the San Francisco Bay Area art scene. And so, in thinking about connectivity, I started with myself in the middle, and then branched out. Next slide. Next. And so this is a detail. And so, when thinking about how communication and communities are formed and how things travel, obviously, relationships, personal relationships are one way in how exchange happens. And going back to the first slide too, you can notice how tight things are. You get these kinds of satellites of artists, kind of swinging around this larger body of connection. And so it was a fun exercise, and it was also a kind of a way for me to kind of think about connections and dialogue. Next, please. This is called Pacific Super, and it's a model of Stonehenge made out of imported Asian groceries from Daly City, California. And I downloaded an image of Stonehenge from the internet, and I went shopping at a very popular Asian grocery store called Pacific Super. And you have objects from Thailand, the Philippines, China, Vietnam, all these groceries that were purchased just to kind of create this a mystical Western icon. This is a fuzzy image of a high-end 1950s furniture design that I downloaded from the internet. and I was using it as source material for a sculpture that went on to have two versions, one that I made in my studio in San Francisco and one that I made in Beijing, China earlier in April of this year. And next. So this is the version that I made in the studio in San Francisco, and I decided to use only cast-off materials, so leftover things like cardboards and magazines and tape, and trying to create this very kind of beautiful, clean and designy object, but out of leftovers, essentially. So when I went to China I was part of an exhibition called Forged Realities, where it was everything in the show was about kind of fake culture. And so going there, next slide. This is the second version, which looks a lot like the first version. But this time, though, it's made out of Chinese cast-off materials. And so, in each place that, it took me 5 days to make it, and it's called 5 Days Towards a New Modernism. And for me, it's kind of about the attempt to create a perfect form, but using a kind of imperfect base and model. And so with the production in China, which has been kind of brought up a bit here with Pee-wee, that's, I don't know, that really interested me too. Next. So there's a detail. And so going back a little bit, in 1998 I did a residency program in the Czech Republic, and it was an international program that had very little funding. It was a very kind of do-it-yourself mentality, which I find is really much more interesting than participating in a very kind of large commercial institution space, because it's more experimental. The artists who participate in those programs are, to me, much more interesting. And I went and didn't know what I wanted to do, and wound up collaborating with a British artist that I met. We became really good friends, and this is just video stills from a performance piece that we did called I Love Technology and Technology Loves Me. And in the Czech Republic, it's very hard to get new equipment, new video equipment and electronics. Everything is used and cast off or kind of refurbished. And so we took a lot of the kind of electronic garbage and repurposed it and rehooked it up and then DJ'd on it and worked on performance sessions. So that was something that could never have happened at my home, or it was definitely a culmination of the place and also the other international artists that I met there. Go ahead and skip on. So just detailed shots, and then shots of the objects that we made. Like there's a sanding paper, that red thing is sanding paper on the turntable, and then we reconfigured like a tape deck players with flashing lights and puffed rice and all sorts of just weird stuff. Go on. And this is a classic Macintosh that's been made to look like an iMac using foam and blue tape to kind of visually upgrade it, make it better. And then detail. Next. And so the last project I'm going to finish with, it's called the Counterfeit Crochet Project. And I started a website soliciting crafters, people who knit, crochet, or kind of do like craft projects, if they wanted to join me in an international bootlegging ring where they would hand make a high-end designer handbag out of crochet. So this is a still from the website. That's the sample Chanel bag that I made to show off. And then go on the next image. This is a detail of my, what is that? My Gucci? Yeah, my Gucci in progress. And so this is a woman named Karen. This is a global project. I have people joining up from all parts of the world. And these are not artists. It's really fun to work with because they're just crafts, normal kind of crafts people who do this as a hobby. This is an example of a Dior bag that a woman sent me a picture of that she was going to copy. Next. And then that's Carrie in Ohio, USA, with her copied Dior bag. And so I asked them to take photographs of themselves modeling the bags, just to kind of give a personality